Hello viewers, trust you're doing well. I know summers are not going anywhere anytime soon, but have you ever thought how we, the people of the UAE, have figured out so many ways to beat the heat? Well, for example, I do my 10K steps in the mall. I don't know if I'm losing weight, but my wallet undoubtedly is doing so. Workout with shopping releases happy hormones is hence officially proven. Well, there are more ways to combat heat during summers, and that is to stay indoors, switch on your TV and watch the cool content that we have curated for you on your favorite show, Zee Connect. That is apparently much easier to do. So let's get rolling. UAE is one of the favorite hotspots for Bollywood actors, and this time we had a quick catch-up with the ravishing Neetu Chandra. Having come from a middle-class family with no film background, Neetu fought her way through different Indian film industries and made her mark as an actor. Let's get to know her better and see what she's up to these days. Hello Neetu, welcome to Dubai and welcome to Zee Connect.
Thank you so much, Priya. I appreciate it.
So nice to have you with us, and we're really excited to meet you and know all about your life, where you've actually been doing a lot ever since you began your acting career in 2005. In fact, even before that. So we'll come to it. But first, tell me, when you started in 2005 with making a debut in Garam Masala, tell me, was acting always on your mind? Was it a career that you always wanted to pursue?
No, I think destiny had it for me, and that's how I see it. I was in 12th standard, and after that I started like traveling India, going across to different places, and then I met Priyadarshan sir, who is the director, and he launched me in Garam Masala. Before that, I had done a couple of ads with him. I did my first ad with Amitabh Bachchan sir for Parker Pen.
Okay.
And that's how it started, when he said, "Your eyes talk." And that was the first line ever from any person from film industry.
And someone as senior as him.
As senior and as respected. And I was like, what does that mean, sir? I was a kid, I didn't know what to say. And that's how it started. And then he offered me Garam Masala.
Okay. And that's how your acting journey began. But before that, Neetu, you were completely into martial arts. You have even represented India thrice at the taekwondo championship.
Right.
Tell us about that phase of your life.
Well, Priya, the credit is to my mother. Whatever I am today, the whole credit is to my mother. She always used to wake me up saying, "Get up, superstar." When I didn't even know the spelling of superstar, she said, you know, because she got married, I think, around 15, 16 years of age, and she was living her dreams through me. She wanted to be a sports girl and all of it, and of course, we all came in her life. And since then, I have seen her pursuing us, pushing us hard to do what we wanted to do. She put me in taekwondo, I started winning, and I saw the smile on my mother's face, and I was like, just for that smile, I'm going to work harder and harder. And then from school to district to states to nationals, and I have represented my state, Bihar, 7 times with 6 gold medals. I'm a black belt 4 dan right now in taekwondo, and represented India 3 times because of my mother.
Yes.
So I think sports has made me what I am today, and entirely the credit is to my mother.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Tell me, you have recently done a Hollywood film, Never Back Down,
Yes.
The Revolt.
Yes.
Tell me, how did you foray into Hollywood?
I was looking for really good scripts in action, and since I was a martial artist, my body language and to represent myself in front of the world it just came with how I have been brought up. But there was something missing, Priya. I was like, I have trained in martial arts and not even one action film in my life.
That's not happening.
I was craving, I was manifesting, I guess. And that's how I started traveling the world. I feel it's so important to be going all out and making opportunities for your own self.
Absolutely.
Who stops you? I always feel there are 2 people who can stop you, either you yourself or God. And if God had that plan, He would have not sent you till here. So only me. And I'm not going to stop unless I'm breathing.
Yes.
So here I am. I packed my bags. I went to LA. I lived by myself. I did everything, all the chores, which we are not used to. But I was like, no, I am going to do this. I'm going to do this till the time I say I can't do this anymore. And that is not what I say. Well, so I went for the screening of Bad Boys, Will Smith's movie, and there were 150 people or something. When I entered, I was a foreigner there. We are so used to seeing the other way around, right?
Yeah.
I was the foreigner there. Everybody was thin and fair, and I was the opposite. Brown and curvaceous, and here I stand, and everybody looked at me. Hey, you're a foreigner. I said, no, yes, I am a foreigner, realized that. And then I met David Zalon and Craig, who were the producers of Never Back Down. It's a franchise, which is a very popular franchise. And that's how it started. I'm very proud of it. I'm so proud today, after being in the industry for 15, 16 years, I can say I made it by myself, on my own, without any support. And if I can do it, anybody in the world can do it.
Absolutely. Well, it's so inspiring listening to you, Neetu.
Thank you,
and
Priya.
it's so wonderful that things worked out for you this way and you made things happen for yourself. You went and got them for yourself, rather. Tell me, you've done movies in English, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu. You've even done theatre.
Yes.
What have you found the most challenging?
Theatre is challenging, but I also like the fact that it keeps me on my foot. And I think that it's my job to know my job very well. And that is what theatre gives you. And if I don't know that job, then I don't deserve to be there. And I think I deserve to be there. That is why Umrao Jan.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to getting Umrao in UAE.
Well, theatre, as you rightly say, I have utmost respect for theatre actors. I mean, the way you guys do it and do it like, you pretty much have to do it again and again, sometimes even 2 shows in a day,
Yes.
with the same amount of conviction and the same expressions and, dedication and the hard work that goes into it. Oh my God.
It's all about feeling, because I'm a brand ambassador for Cancer Patients AIDS Association for 12 years. So I associate Umrao with them. Most of the time I do, fundraisings, or I do a lot of philanthropist work for them through Umrao, and I've been doing it in India as well.
Yes.
And I feel that, especially after COVID, I would like to do more and more. And this is just the start.
Yeah.
So for my CPA, Cancer Patients Association in India, and Teen Cancer American Association in US, and if I can be associated with any philanthropist cause or anything, I would love to be a part of it here as well.
You've actually answered my next question as well, because I was only going to ask you about your support and the drive that you have for cancer awareness, and you do so much, so many programs and activities. I mean, you've answered it, and you know why you're doing it, and you're doing it again with so much of conviction.
Well, I lost my dad to cancer as well, and my cousin brother to cancer, a couple of friends to cancer. Not because of that. I mean, I've been doing this for 12, 15 years because I feel that I can do it, I should do it. And, to people who are, who need it. And if I can do it, I will do it.
Yeah, of course. If you have the power, why not?
Yeah, God sends us the power to help people, and I'm just...
Do as much as you can to give back to the
Yes.
society. Thank you for talking to us, Neetu. It's been so inspiring and such a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Priya. I appreciate it.
Good things come to those who wait. So please wait a little. I will be back after a short break with lots more. Welcome back. Eating healthy does not mean there is no room for indulgence. Treat yourself to some healthy recipes that are tried and tested by Chef Priyansh, whose aim is to teach you top recipes that are not just healthy but also easy and quick to prepare. Let's see what he has in store for us today.
Hi, I'm Chef Priyansh, and I'm going to share some recipes with you to cool you down this summer. Today, we're making a sweet potato gnocchi. Let's have a look at the ingredients. We're going to use some boiled and peeled sweet potato, plain flour, some extra virgin olive oil, garlic, salt to taste, and some vegan butter. Let's get started. In this bowl, I'm going to add this sweet potato and we're going to mash it. I want to make sure that there's no lumps and it's completely smooth. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of olive oil. And a pinch of salt. And I'm going to mix it well. Now I'm going to add some plain flour, little by little, till I have a dough. You may need more or less flour. It just depends on the amount of sweet potato you have. You have to make sure that it is a dough that you can mold with your hands. So now it's come together as a dough. I'm just going to knead it for a bit on my table, just to make sure that it's all mixed well. Mine is still a bit sticky, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour to make the dough come together. Okay, so my dough is ready. I'm going to cut it into the shapes now. In the meanwhile, I've got some water boiling here, and I'm going to add some salt to it. You don't need to measure this, it makes the pasta taste nice. So I'm going to divide this into 4 equal parts. This is the fun bit. We're going to turn this into pasta. So slowly roll it with one hand, up and down. And once it gets wider, you want to use 2 hands. So you want to use your thumbs to come in and go out. So you want to roll like this, in this motion. So it starts here and slowly move out. When you do that, it makes sure that the whole thing is the same thickness. Otherwise, it'll be different thickness. Okay, so this is a good thickness. I'm now going to cut it into smaller pieces. So around 1 inch. So this is sweet potato gnocchi. I'm going to do the same with the other 2. This is perfect to make in advance as well. This, you can cover it in flour and put it straight in the freezer, and then when you're ready to cook it, you can boil it. Okay, so I've cut these pieces and now we're going to shape them. I'm going to show you 2 styles of shaping them. The first one, we're just going to use a fork. We can take this one piece, and I'm just going to gently press this over the piece. And that's our first shape. The second one, we'll also use the fork. We're just going to use our index finger, push it down and roll. And that's the second shape. You can use whichever one you're comfortable with. Now the water has come up to a boil. I'm just going to add all the gnocchi in. Make sure you're dropping them in different places so that they don't stick together. Because this is fresh, it won't take too long to cook. Using my fork, I'm just going to give it a light stir so that it doesn't stick to each other. Just to separate all the pieces. Now, they're all different sizes, so they'll take different times to cook. But the best way to find out if it's cooked is it'll float to the top. So when it's ready, it'll come up to the top of the pan. While this boils, I'm going to chop some garlic on the side. I'm going to use around 3 cloves. I'm just going to thinly slice it. As you can see, while we chop the garlic, all the gnocchi has started to come up. That means it's ready. It took less than a minute for all of this to cook because it's fresh. I'm going to drain this and then we're going to make a quick sauce. The sauce is super simple. We're just going to use some vegan butter, about 1.5 tablespoons. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil so the butter doesn't burn. And now the garlic is going to go in. Just waiting for the garlic to get a little translucent. Okay, so as you can see, the garlic has started to become a little translucent. It's almost see-through. So I'll add the gnocchi back in. So this is my strained gnocchi. Just going to toss it a little bit. So the gnocchi is already cooked, so you can serve it like this. But I prefer the outside to get a little bit crispy so that it's crisp on the outside, soft on the inside. So I'm going to cook it a little bit more. But you're welcome to serve it like this as well. I'm going to give it a pinch of salt. I'm also going to add a little bit of paprika. You can also add some pepper powder or some chili flakes. So as you can see, there's nice brown bits over here. That means it's gotten a bit crispy on the outside. We're ready to serve. So I'm just going to serve it on a plate and we're going to garnish it with some basil. I'm just going to scrape the pan and get all that butter that we cooked it in. I'm just going to garnish it with some fresh basil. This is my sweet potato gnocchi in a garlic butter sauce. This is now ready. We're going to pair this with a really refreshing cucumber drink. Let's see what's in it. Now we're going to make a super simple and refreshing coconut and cucumber drink. There's only 2 simple ingredients in this recipe: cucumber and coconut cream. Let's get started. I'm going to take this cucumber and just chop it into smaller chunks. I'm going to add it to my blender. Now I'm going to add the coconut cream into the blender. That's it, just 2 ingredients. Now you can add sugar, water, or lemon juice if you like. I like it simply like this. Now we're just going to blend this. And it's ready. If you feel like you want it colder, you can also crush some ice straight into the blender, and you can also serve it with ice. This is now ready to serve. These are the 2 dishes we've made today: sweet potato gnocchi in a garlic butter sauce and a coconut cucumber cooler. Let's give it a taste. So it's nice and chewy on the inside and a bit crispy on the outside. It's perfect, it's super simple, and it tastes so much better than what it looks like. Let's try this drink. Again, another really simple dish. Both of them work so well together, and it's perfect for the summer. Thank you for watching. Make sure you try these recipes and tag us on your socials when you do. I'll be back again next week with another really refreshing summer recipe. Thank you.
Time for another short break. I will be back soon. Stay connected. Welcome back. Do you recall Abraham Ford from The Walking Dead and his famous one-liners? If yes, then check out our conversation with Michael Cudlitz, who breathed life into this character, and many more up next.
Michael, so great to have you in Dubai. And like we were talking offline, you were telling me this is your first time in Dubai.
Yes, first
How
time
are
in
you
Dubai.
liking this place?
So far, so good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not here for a really long time, so I'm doing all the
Important touristy
well,
things?
the touristy things. Yeah, I don't know how important it is for the people who live here, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I went to the mall on
Of
Wednesday, and then Thursday I went to the tallest building in the world.
Burj Khalifa.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
I like just doing all those things.
Well, let's get on to talking about you and your journey.
Okay.
You've done some amazing roles as an actor. Tell me, where did it all begin and how did it begin for you? Let's take
Oh my
you
gosh.
back.
I started my career, I guess, or my dream of being an actor when I was in the 3rd grade. I was always doing stage, plays and things.
Yeah.
And for me, it was an escape. I loved doing it, and it's where my friends were. It's where my love was, and I never dreamed of having a career doing it. I always just loved doing it.
Yeah.
I grew up I was born in New York and raised in New Jersey, and it was very blue collar. So it was, go get a job.
Yeah.
It's like no one was thinking, oh, I'm going to be an actor. Like, yeah, go get a job.
Yeah.
You can be an actor? Sure, you're going to be an actor.
Yeah.
So it's never even was in the plan.
Yeah.
And my dad, he knew I loved doing it. He pushed me into it, and he said, go follow your dream. Because I learned construction from him. I learned woodworking, so I had a trade to fall back on. And in the States, I used that trade to pay my way through school.
Yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to graduate from an acting program and continue working. So I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do what I love to do for a living, because not many people get to do that.
Exactly. Tell me, when you were auditioning for Band of Brothers, were you a bit nervous seeing, the cast that was on the series, Tom Hanks, Stephen?
Well, yeah, that was, we had no idea what the project was going to be.
Yeah.
We just knew that it was being done by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
So that was in itself terrifying,
Obviously.
Yeah, and then once we were hired and started doing it, then we realized the impact that this was going to have potentially.
Yeah.
And that's when it all shifted for all of us. So going into it, it was Tom and Steven that were sort of the thing we were nervous about. And then moving forward, it was actually telling the story and making sure we did it right for the families.
Yeah.
That's what we were nervous about.
Okay. It all turned out well for you.
It did. It worked out. They say it worked out.
Well, talk about The Walking Dead and your character Abraham. What did you enjoy the most about that?
I enjoyed the people. Just a wonderful cast, wonderful storytelling. A lot of fun. Basically, you're a comic book superhero. In my case with Abraham, I was fortunate enough to be one of the comic book characters.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman wrote a great, crazy, over-the-top character in this insane world.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of fun, just from beginning to end. It was just fun, and it's the most fun I've had on a job ever.
And then you got into direction as well. So you've started directing
Yep.
now. And do you feel that if you've had the experience of acting, you can kind of understand the process of direction better and you can get the best out of your cast?
I think so. There's people who come at directing from different ways. Some people, you have a lot of directors of photography, DPs, who come at it and they're very visual in their directing and their storytelling. And then you have actors, I think, that come from it from an acting, from a character standpoint in their storytelling.
Yeah.
But I think it lives in the middle. So you have to sort of, yes, it gives me an advantage because I've been around it, so I've seen it done well and I've seen it done poorly.
Yeah.
And hopefully I know what story is and I'm pushing towards that and coming from it from a character-driven standpoint. But I definitely have to be aware of the visual. So if I didn't have any sense of visual, cinematic sort of vision, I don't think it would work. I think you have to have both.
True.
But some people have strengths in one area more than the other. But I think there's a blending that comes from it with if you really excel, if you're really learning and moving forward. And hopefully I'm learning the visual part of it. But I've been having a blast doing it. And again, Walking Dead gave me an opportunity to do that. So I'm grateful to them.
Are you a tough director? Are you like difficult to deal with on the set?
No, never. I don't think that helps anyone.
Yeah.
Because it brings tension. And some people think tension is good because it makes I don't. I think people do their best work when they're relaxed and they feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, because then you're open to what's going to happen.
Exactly. But what is it that you would like to tell maybe budding actors out there or budding filmmakers?
Just stick with it. Yeah. Don't let anyone tell you no. Stick with it.
And a message to your fans here in the Middle East.
Oh, just come out and see us. We're here all weekend. We'd love to see you. It's great.
What team are you supporting?
Well, probably U.S., right? We're not out of it yet. As of last night, we're still in it. So.
Well, Michael, it's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much.
It's been great talking to you too. Thank you.
You had a great time in Dubai.
Thank you very much.
With this, we come to the end of this episode. I will join you again next Sunday. You take care of yourself, drink up lots of water, and follow us on our socials so we can get your timely feedback and love. It keeps us getting better and bringing you the best. Time to push off now. Bye-bye.